Okay, everyone, today we're going to work on mount hold downs. The mount used to be the #1 position in jiu-jitsu, but as the sportive aspect of jiu-jitsu got better, the person on the bottom got better at escaping, thus making side mount really the best position. But mount still is the best position. There's just some certain technical aspects of it that we have to understand. So when I'm mounted on top of my opponent, a couple things is everybody knows that the guy's going to attack down low because he wants to get you starting off in side mount. What happens usually here is guys put their arms out and ultimately they just get taken into half guard. But what I want to do is, as opposed to just keep my hands up here, I don't want to put him down here because then he's going to bridge and roll me if I put him here. Bridge. And then my hands come off and then he just continues isolating my leg. So it looks like this. He bridges. I put my hands out and he continues to isolate the leg. And now he's got my leg caught. So right away, once I mount my opponent, if his hands are down low on my hips, I need to start manipulating his head. If I feel him pushing on my hip here, I need to push his head away. Now he doesn't have as much power. I can push away. I can also come up, and that takes his push away. I can put my elbows on the ground and hold his head up, and it takes his push away. I squeeze my knees in, it just buys me time. If he puts his arms up to attack my arms, anytime his arm comes up, his elbow comes up, my knee comes forward. And again, I squeeze in. Now, once I'm up here, he doesn't have good push. Here, he does. Up here, he doesn't. So, once I manipulate his head, when he goes to push my arm off, my knee comes up, and again, I squeeze in. And then I just take his arm out of play. And I have different submissions. If, however, he makes it to posture by pushing on my hip, go, and my foot starts to go, what I do from here before he captures me into half guard, once I know I've lost it, as opposed to just keep my hands down, then I go to S mount. My foot comes up and it comes into his waist here. But I don't park here because the next thing he's going to do is put his hand underneath and go out the back door. So the moment I go to S mount, my knee comes back in, and then I mule kick back down and push his head away again until my knees are back on the ground. So again, he pushes, I start to lose it, I go to S mount. But from S mount, I push my knees straight in, pull his head away, and mule kick my foot down until I put him straight back on his back. This will stop him from getting me into half guard, which ultimately will cause him to replace the guard. So I need to use my hands and manipulate his head, pushing up, as opposed to trying to pull his hands off. And that is a good way to keep the mount position before we get to our submissions. And that's the technique of the week.